Welcome back to the Natasha Effect, where we get real, think deeper, and change perspectives one conversation at a time. I'm Natasha, your unapologetic host, and if you're here for surface level, keep on going. So, today I'm diving into something that is really near and dear to my heart: prenatal vitamins. And no, this is not your grandma's boring vitamin chat, like, take your meds. This is your VIP backstage pass to picking the prenatal that's going to actually work for you and your future self. Because honestly, picking a prenatal these days can really feel like dating on steroids, swiping left on labels, swiping right on marketing gimmicks, hoping that you don't end up picking the wrong one. I've been there, and believe me, the amount of research I did when I was pregnant with my son, I felt like I was writing a paper. But I've been there, so I know I can relate. But some of these so-called best-selling vitamins, they don't even have what you really need, and I feel like we don't even really know what we need. So, I'm going to help you find the perfect prenatal match without all of the drama. So, you might be thinking, why does this matter? Prenatals aren't just for pregnancy. People think that you start taking them after you become pregnant. Truly, you should be taking them 3 to 6 months before you even start trying. This helps prep your body to start storing the right vitamins, the right nutrients, the right minerals. And we're not all getting enough of these things from food alone. Yes, even if you eat clean. This is really about giving you and your future child the best foundation. So, what do you really need? Let me tell you. These are your must-haves that you should be looking for on the prenatal vital label. So, folic acid, or it might show up as methylated folate. They are similar. They're essentially the same, but the number you're looking for that is 400 to 800. A lot of these heavily advertised, like gummies specifically, they do not have the full recommended amount. Like, they may contain it, but it does not have anywhere near the amount you should be taking. Why is this important? Folic acid prevents birth defects of the brain and then the spine, so that neural tube defects. And then, like I said, there's the folic acid, which is, I think that's the one we're all most familiar with, but also the methylated folate. Some people just absorb that one better, but same thing. The second most important thing is DHA. So DHA, you should be looking for like 200 to 300 milligrams. What is DHA? It is omega-3 fatty acids. And what these do is help your baby's like brain, eyes, nervous system development, things like that. So if your prenatal doesn't have it, I urge you to supplement with a separate DHA supplement. The next thing that a lot of prenatals actually lack is iron. Iron, for obvious reasons, but it supports your increased blood volume, helps prevent anemia, which is pretty high in pregnant women. But be careful, because too much iron can cause constipation, and then, of course, too little is anemia. So you should talk with your doctor about that one to see like what level is right for you, or if you even need it. You may not be deficient in iron. I know for me, like, I didn't need to start taking iron supplement until closer to the end of my pregnancy, like third trimester. So, like I said, speak with your doctor. Vitamin D, this one always comes up. Again, whatever level you need, speak with your doctor, but around 600 IU or like 15 mcg. So, obviously, vitamin D works with calcium and it supports healthy bones, teeth, immune function. As I've said before, so many people are deficient and they don't even realize it. And now you're growing a tiny human being, so you are more likely to be deficient. Another big one that you want to have is calcium. Calcium obviously is going to help build healthier, stronger bones and teeth, and it protects your own bone density as well. And like, especially if you are an older mom or like a high risk mom, they would say. But most prenatals don't even have this full amount. So make sure that you get it from food as well. And then some other really great nutrients that aren't, they're not like you really should have these, but they are amazing nutrients would be like choline, iodine, vitamin B12. Choline, it's good for like boosting brain development, memory, in learning. It works alongside the folate to help with those neural tube defects. Then iodine, that pretty much just keeps your thyroid healthy. It affects metabolism, but also the baby's brain development. Keywords in here, everything is pretty much tied to baby brain development. And then vitamin B12, we hear about this one all the time, but it will essentially help you or help form healthy red blood cells, which will support your energy. That's why they call B12 the energy vitamin. And again, also works with folate. So this one is important, but it's extremely important if you're eating like a vegan or a vegetarian diet. So I So when I tell you guys that my science brain kicked in when I got pregnant and I was reading every label and I went full detective mode, um, I was scanning ingredient panels. I feel like I was doing homework, honestly. But the one that I found that contained almost all of those things and that I actually really like, because I like to take a gummy, but like I said, sometimes they're more sugar, they don't have the right amount. But for specifically that 3 to 6 months before, if you're planning on trying to conceive, I really like to talk about the one I took, which was the Smarty Pants Prenatal Plus, because it contains the folate, the vitamin D. It also has the choline, B12. Um, it doesn't have iron though, and the DHA is, I think it's only like 60, so it is significantly lower than your recommended dosage. But I mean, so just supplement with a DHA supplement, but it's really good for pre-pregnancy, I would say. Again, you can always talk to your provider. But reading the label is so important, and I think a lot of us just assume if we see like complete prenatal or prenatal multivitamin, they are not all made the same, and that's what I really wanted to talk about. So just make sure you're reading the label. It's like your foods, but make sure it has the things that you truly need. Ask yourself, does it have the must-haves in the right dosages? Are the nice to haves, like the additional nutrients, are those included, and like do you want them? And if it doesn't contain what is needed, are you willing to supplement them separately? Some people want like an all-in-one, and so that's why this is important. But if you're okay with taking 3, 4 pills or whatever, then that's you. The thing is the best prenatal is going to be the one you take. It is going to be the one that you take every single day, not the one that you forget or you leave on your shelf or that you researched. The best prenatal is going to be one that you take. So find one that works for you. Now, I said I like the gummy. They come in powder, they come in pill, but I feel like they all kind of have their benefits. So, of course, like the gummies taste great, but typically they're lacking iron or the DHA or they're high in sugar or just, those types of things. Capsules, they're great ingredients wise and they're more complete, but they are a lot more harsh on your stomach if you take them without eating, which does have an uptick in like nausea. And so I don't really like capsules. Then they also do have like the liquid or powder options, and these are great if you can't take pills, but it's definitely more inconvenient, I would say. So I just make sure you pay attention to like what works for you. And again, always look for like third party testing, especially for like quality reassurance or if it's a newer brand or things like that. But I would say the best time to start is 3 to 6 months before trying to conceive. I mean, if possible, right? Like sometimes you just don't know. To, take it with food specifically to increase absorption. Like it helps your body better absorb all of those vitamins and minerals that you're just throwing at it. And then I feel like so much we like beat ourselves up if we forget. If you forget a day, just take it the next day. It's not the end of the world. Like you still have that built up storage. But yeah, those would be my tips. Like don't go crying in the vitamin aisle because you can't find the perfect prenatal, because honestly, I don't think that the perfect one exists. I mean, every brand I looked at, and I looked at 15, 20 different ones, they all lack something. So you need to pick what's best for you, because at the end of the day, consistency does beat perfection. So, you know, if if you are planning to start, just know it doesn't have to be something that you start taking once you're pregnant. Like if you do know that you want one within, the next year or so, like start thinking about that, like pre-plan it. This has to be part of that pre-planning. Like know your must-haves, know your nice-to-haves, pick the form that you're going to take the most consistently. Like don't stress. Just start. And if you have any questions or you need help with that, I'm more than willing to talk about it. But let's review. Start a prenatal vitamin that contains 400 to 800 mcg of folate, methylated if possible because it is better absorbed, 200 to 300 milligrams of DHA, or take a separate supplement with that amount. Iron, check with your provider's advice. I'm not going to tell you how much to take. Around 600 units of vitamin D. Again, I always recommend vitamin D3 with K2 for better absorption and goes to the right places. Aim for like 1,000 milligrams of calcium from your diet and supplements. A lot of these supplements are not going to reach that number, so don't stress about it. You can get the rest from your diet. And then those additionals that are like great to have, or nice to haves, I call them: choline, iodine, and B12. And again, you can take all of those separately if your core vitamin doesn't have them. So take it daily with food, drink plenty of water, eat a balanced diet, obviously talk to your healthcare provider, and manage stress and get some sleep. I know easier said than done, but yeah, if you learned something today or it made you kind of see prenatals in a whole new light, congratulations. I just hit you with the Natasha effect. So until next time,